Mansfield 1, Northampton 0 in that other player. Sorry, Mansfield 0, Northampton 1. Mansfield 0, Northampton 1. Day getting the goal after 14 minutes play. Northampton 0, Mansfield 1. I beg your pardon. Let me get it right. Northampton 0, Mansfield 1 in that other playoff semi-final which is going on today. That's the Division 3 playoff semi-final. So it's Mansfield 0, Northampton. Sorry, it's Northampton 0, Mansfield 1. Let me get it absolutely right in that other playoff semi-final which is going on.
Goal for Aston Villa. Goal for Leighton Orient, I beg your pardon. The cross coming in on this near side of the field. I'm as amazed as everybody else because Villa have had cast iron opportunities at the far end of the field, and this time the ball was played in, and it's the substitute Chris Dagnall who has headed the ball home and into the back of the net, I think. But anyway, whoever it was, it might have been Vancelow, who looks quite like him. One way or the other, the ball has been headed into the goal. Got to make sure that the players that he's got here at the moment he can get something out of. There's no point coming in and saying, listen, this squad just isn't good enough. There isn't the heart there in a lot of players to play for Liverpool Football Club. A lot of players aren't good enough to play for Liverpool Football Club or in front of a crowd at Anfield. Couldn't have put it much better, Adrian. You're absolutely right. They have somebody now who is their own, in inverted commas. They never felt, and a lot of people never felt from the outset, that Roy Hodgson and Liverpool Football Club was a good fit. And so it proved, in actual fact. Now Kenny is back, and there will be no more descent from the terraces between now and the end of the season. You can bet your bottom dollar. So the team will get massive backing. If Kenny asks for them to sing their hearts out, they will do it, because he was just a wonderful player for Liverpool Football Club, probably the greatest that has ever played for the football club, although older people might argue about Billy Liddell, and you could argue about some of the players that played alongside Kenny Dalglish as well, but a wonderful, wonderful player who will always be remembered at Liverpool Football Club as that, and as a manager as well, who, by the way, produced the best football I've ever seen at Liverpool Football Club as well. Now, it unfortunately tailed off towards the end of his tenure.
Here we go, round and round again, up and down. Oh, that was brilliant.
I think that it would be easy to put too much emphasis on him at the moment and too much on small and young shoulders. He is a very talented player, no question about it. Whether he's ready for the hurly-burly of the Premier League is a different question, but clearly Brendan Rodgers is prepared to try him out here just to see how he goes, and with backup on the bench, if it doesn't work for him, he can bring him off, because the worst thing he can do is put him on and, like some bud which is just beginning to flower, feel the frost of a big Scottish defence on top of him, which might destroy him
Where
forever.
are you going with that metaphor, Graham?
No further is the answer to that, Danny.
Story is the same. How can you prove it?
Yes, how can you prove it? That's Arsene Wenger talking at yesterday's press conference, so Alvin should. Says Fabregas, come out.
Graham, a bride on the pitch?
Yes, that's right. Something I've never seen before. I've seen brides in stands. I saw one at Burnley versus Liverpool quite a few years ago. But a bride and groom, indeed, on the pitch at the start of this game. So what a photograph that will be for the family album. Sandra and Phil Bailey, they were out on the pitch, and they're just sitting away to my left-hand side now. She looks very pretty indeed.
He weren't one of the players, was he? Getting married before the game, Graham?
I hope I'm not being too rude here, and I'm going to lower my voice just a little bit.
Yeah.
He looks considerably older than her. I mean, I thought, in fairness to young David Ngog, he did pretty well. He worked hard, and he within the limitations that he has, and I think he does have limitations, and that's a problem. Within the limitations that he had, I thought he did pretty well. He worked quite hard, but he's one of those players who, as I was saying to Ray a little bit earlier on, you just say, well, what's special about him? What does he do really well? And the truth of the matter is that he doesn't do anything really well. He's not great in the air. He's not physically strong. He's not a Rooney. He's not got a fantastic touch. His touch does let him down on occasions, although on other occasions it can be quite good. And so he's one of those players where you're looking for something special, but really inbuilt in him, it quite simply isn't there. But as I say, take nothing away from him tonight. I thought he did pretty well.
I'm not trying to be particularly negative, Andreas, but one of the subjects which may have been spoken about, you tell me whether it has or it hasn't, but certainly one of the subjects which is spoken about quite a bit when draws for European Championships or indeed the World Cup come up, are the position of the nations in Pot 6, the Liechtensteins, the Maltas, the Luxembourgs, the Andorras, the Faroe Islands, San Marinos of this world. Have you spoken about having a separate competition of those, what you might call lesser lights around the world, who are never going to win World Cups because they haven't got the population to win the World Cup, so that the very best of them can come forward, and so that therefore countries don't get an absolute thrashing, which doesn't improve their standard or indeed their will to compete, so to speak?
No, that has not been debated at all.
It was one of those situations where Coutinho, who had an excellent game last night for Liverpool, was going towards the goal as Liverpool pushed towards the end.
Did he start, Beaky, Coutinho?
Oh, he could have. Well, he could have started, and he did start. So he started the game. Kenny, inside the first 30 minutes, that looked an unlikely result.
In which way?
Well, I thought that Burnley started perhaps better than you, but you really came to the fore after the first 30 minutes.
Yeah, I disagree with you there. I don't think that they had any chances or opportunities. They're a good ball-playing side, and at home, having won 5 out of the last 6 games, they're going to start with confidence.
Your defence was excellent. I mean, you threw bodies on the line, and when Burnley perhaps did have a little bit of a decent spell in the first half, they were excellent and very good all the way through in that respect.
Yeah, I mean, you keep talking about Burnley's good spell. I can't quite remember it at the moment.
Well, Defonso headed against the bar, didn't he, as well? They did have that opportunity.
All right. Personally, I thought my keeper had that one covered, and he's in a very good position to take that had it been on target. But everybody's entitled to their opinion. Very good performance from Millwall today, both defensively and going forward.